So my friend, to Canada once again, to our parkour subscriber. Here a park where I also trained, but that was a kids place also, nothing for training. But watch, very nice. I was here every week, you know, and I combined this park to the other park, you know, and there I always trained. But here was great because here there were rings, but they are away. I think 1 year ago they were still here but damaged, and now they have closed it here. They built something new. I don't know what will come here, but I have footage from here that I can show you. That was so cool here. Again, I don't know the chronicle now in the videos of the training places, but the rings on there, you know, I have the same at home at my ladder that I can bring it in, because back then you had nothing. There were no pull-up bars to make this and that, you know. We had to use what we found. I trained in the real streets, you know, for example in Zurich, you know, I trained there in the trams, you know. I slept in there, and when I woke up I made the pull-ups at the bus stations in the streets in Zurich, Switzerland. There I made the pull-ups, you know, and on and on and on. And here were rings. There was on there a wood, you know, until here you see still the length to this, and there were small rings and they went upwards to the end, and you could go from one ring to another or to make pull-up. I was making my rope here. There was also the video is I think also from 2011, 10 or 9, around that time. You can watch. I will show you the video now exactly from here. Yeah, you have seen it. That is absolutely great. I made here the push-ups, you know, went on to the next park for the real pull-up bar, or where Blaze was, because when kids were playing here, you could not make it, you know. That was the starting time of YouTube. People had no idea what is this guy doing. Nowadays, you know, people forget this. Nowadays, everything you know from internet, Instagram, all we have seen nowadays. But back then, a time when no YouTube was, Instagram, TikTok was not there, no one has known such a style of training, you know what I mean? There was here also, as I told, TRX was coming up. That was here all on the same time, you know. TRX, the calisthenics thing, you know, what I told from New York. What was all there, you know, the kettlebell, you know, the word the functional training, you know, and also the parkour game, also that went up with David Bell, you know, as we have written once, this famous video. I have seen that when that came out. To me, boy, it was amazing, because I always was searching for training systems, what brings me, what makes me better in his body. And back then I think those parkour guys were much more trained for the body, you know, they made much more workout only for the body, a special workout, you know what I mean? But those impact to jump off, you know, because as skateboarders we also did this, and that was amazing how they rolled up, you know. I made judo, so I know a little bit about falling, and that was amazing, you know. And from there on I also watched this. Yeah, and that park, I'm here. I have a photo from that water thing, I think from the 80s, around 87 or 88. I have a photo when I was standing here, you know, 1988. Maybe I find it and I can show you that. Yeah, and that park was always amazing, and there existed nothing, you know, calisthenics parks people didn't know, you know, that all later came up. Yeah, and the other thing, when the YouTube game came up, you know, that was a complete other time back then. There was no money involved. Nowadays every channel is a stupid advertisement channel, you know, that is the truth. 99% is advertisement channels only, but it's another story. But back then, you know it, that was the other game. And there I also wanted to make training videos for YouTube, you know, but not how to make it and this and that and blah blah blah. No, I wanted to move from one city to another city and everywhere to find a great spot where you make a push-up or a pull-up, on a museum, on stairs and this and that, because I did it here, and that I wanted to do and put up on YouTube, you know. Maybe then I would be now well known, you know, one of the first who would have done that. But then I had the Epstein-Barr virus, you know, and that took me out for years. There was no training possible. That was the problem. And now someone is watching behind of us. Maybe you see it. Watch to the display. That's the only thing where I like my display. Now I think it's gone, because people are not used up to such a style with camera. What is this guy doing? And exactly that it was. Now it's gone. It was back in the days. People watch stupid at you when a grown up has trained on a kid's place, you know, because they didn't know what someone is doing, you know. And the other thing is, I trained on the other, that was not a park, that was behind a house. They had there a big field, you know, but in there they had this old, for the carpets, you know, this bar, and on the bar is another bar where you can put on your carpet and bam, and punch it out for the dust, you know what I mean. Now here is not such a tool. And there, that was great, because they had this bar in that height, and over was another bar, and there I could always jump from the pull-ups from one bar to the other bar, you know, like ninja style, what they have with the ladder now. That I trained back in the days when ninja, also I think Ninja Warrior, that also didn't exist here in the US or in Europe, you know. And I can show you that clip. I made a clip from, that is, yeah, 12 minutes from here in this backyard, and there I made those things. Watch it. Yeah, and that was absolutely nice, you know.